Welcome to Discovering Gender Diversity, a series that explores a world of unique gender identities, their advantages and challenges. Join us as we uncover narratives, journey across borders, and learn how countries support gender diversity. Two-spirit gender identity development, including that of individuals who identify as two-spirit, is a complex and culturally specific process. Two-spirit is a term used by many Indigenous peoples in North America to describe individuals who embody both masculine and feminine qualities, or who fulfill unique gender roles within their communities. It's essential to recognize that the concept of two-spirit varies among different Indigenous cultures, so this explanation will provide a general understanding of gender identity development within this context. 1. Early recognition and acceptance. In many Indigenous cultures, gender roles are often more fluid and inclusive than in Western societies. Children who would later identify as two-spirit may show early signs of non-binary or gender-diverse behavior. These individuals are often recognized and accepted for their unique qualities from a young age. 2. Cultural and spiritual significance. Two-spirit individuals often hold special cultural and spiritual roles within their communities. They may be seen as mediators, healers, or keepers of traditional knowledge. These roles can influence their self-identification and development. 3. Connection to tradition. Two-spirit people are often deeply connected to their cultural traditions and may participate in rituals and ceremonies that acknowledge their unique status. These traditions can provide a sense of belonging and purpose. 4. Social support and acceptance. In many Indigenous communities, two-spirit individuals experience greater acceptance and support compared to Western societies. They are often seen as valuable community members and are respected for their unique perspectives. 5. Personal exploration. As with anyone's gender identity development, two-spirit individuals may go through a process of self-discovery. They might explore their gender identity and how it aligns with their cultural and personal beliefs. This exploration can involve seeking guidance from elders, family members, or peers. 6. Challenging stereotypes and prejudice. While two-spirit individuals may experience greater acceptance within their communities, they can still face challenges, discrimination, and prejudice from outside sources. The process of accepting and celebrating their identity can involve confronting these external biases. 7. Advocacy and community involvement. Many two-spirit individuals become advocates for their communities and work to raise awareness of two-spirit issues. They may engage in activism and community organizing to promote understanding and acceptance of diverse gender identities. It's important to remember that the experience of being two-spirit can vary widely between different Indigenous cultures and individuals. Some Indigenous communities have their own unique terminology and traditions related to two-spirit identity, so it's essential to approach each culture with respect and a willingness to learn about their specific perspectives on gender identity development. Additionally, the two-spirit concept is specific to North America. Other Indigenous cultures around the world have their own distinct understandings of gender diversity and identity. The concept of two-spirit gender is unique to Indigenous cultures in North America and is not about advantages in the traditional sense. Instead, it represents a cultural understanding of gender diversity that has intrinsic value and significance within these communities. It's essential to approach this concept with cultural respect and sensitivity rather than evaluating it based on advantages. However, there are positive aspects associated with the recognition of two-spirit individuals within their respective communities. 1. Cultural significance. Two-spirit people often hold special cultural and spiritual roles in their communities. Their unique identities and qualities are valued and respected as part of the community's cultural heritage. 2. Traditional knowledge. Two-spirit individuals may be the keepers of traditional knowledge, including medicinal, ceremonial, and cultural practices. This knowledge is often passed down through generations, preserving important aspects of Indigenous culture. 3. Bridge builders. Many two-spirit individuals are seen as mediators and bridge builders within their communities. They can facilitate communication and understanding between different groups, contributing to harmony and cohesion. 4. Role models. Two-spirit individuals can serve as role models for younger generations, demonstrating the acceptance of diverse gender identities and helping to reduce stigma and discrimination. 5. Spiritual roles. Some two-spirit individuals have important roles in spiritual and healing practices, contributing to the well-being and spiritual health of their communities. 6. Social acceptance. In many Indigenous communities, two-spirit people experience greater acceptance and support, leading to more positive mental health outcomes compared to their experiences in Western societies, where non-binary and transgender individuals often face significant challenges. 7. Community support. Two-spirit individuals often have a support network within their community that values their unique qualities and provides a sense of belonging and inclusion. It's important to understand that the advantages associated with two-spirit individuals are rooted in cultural and social contexts and may not be directly comparable to advantages in Western society. The two-spirit concept is about recognizing and celebrating diverse gender identities and the contributions of these individuals to their communities. When discussing two-spirit identity and culture, it's crucial to do so with respect, sensitivity, and a willingness to learn from and about the specific traditions and practices of the Indigenous community in question. The focus should be on understanding and honoring the cultural and spiritual significance of two-spirit identities rather than framing it in terms of advantages. Two-spirit individuals can face various disadvantages and challenges, primarily stemming from discrimination, stigma, and a lack of understanding in both Indigenous and non-Indigenous contexts. Some of the disadvantages or difficulties that two-spirit individuals may encounter include: 1. Discrimination and stigma. Two-spirit individuals may face discrimination based on their gender identity, both within and outside their Indigenous communities. Discrimination can manifest as exclusion, verbal abuse, or even physical violence. 2. Cultural appropriation. Non-Indigenous people sometimes inappropriately appropriate the concept of two-spirit, which can lead to cultural insensitivity and misrepresentation. 3. Lack of legal protections. Legal protections for gender and sexual diversity vary by jurisdiction. In some places, two-spirit individuals may lack legal protection from discrimination and harassment. 4. Health disparities. Health disparities exist, including limited access to healthcare and mental health services. Two-spirit individuals may also face higher rates of substance abuse and mental health challenges due to the stress of discrimination. 5. Family rejection. In some cases, two-spirit individuals experience family rejection, which can lead to homelessness or housing instability. 6. Limited representation. Two-spirit individuals are often underrepresented in mainstream media, education, and healthcare systems. The lack of representation can lead to isolation and a lack of resources. 7. Intersectional discrimination. Some two-spirit individuals may experience discrimination not only based on their gender identity, but also because of their Indigenous identity or other intersecting factors such as race, class, or disability. 8. Lack of cultural awareness. In non-Indigenous contexts, there is often a lack of awareness and understanding of two-spirit identities. This can result in misgendering, discrimination, and a general lack of support. 9. Mental health challenges. The stress of discrimination and social challenges can lead to mental health issues, including depression, anxiety, and higher rates of suicide within the two-spirit community. 10. Challenges in education and employment. Discrimination can affect educational and employment opportunities, limiting the potential for economic stability and personal growth. It's crucial to address these disadvantages by promoting education and awareness about two-spirit identities and experiences, advocating for legal protections, and creating supportive and inclusive environments within Indigenous communities and in society at large. Respecting and valuing two-spirit individuals for their unique contributions and cultural significance is essential for reducing these disadvantages and fostering a more inclusive and accepting society. It's important to note that the concept of two-spirit is specific to Indigenous cultures in North America, and it is not tied to specific countries, but rather to Indigenous communities and their traditional beliefs and practices. The experience and acceptance of two-spirit individuals can vary within Indigenous communities in different regions. While there are no specific best countries for two-spirit individuals, you can find a strong presence of Indigenous cultures and acceptance of two-spirit people in certain areas of North America. Here are 4 regions where you may find a significant Indigenous presence and cultural acceptance. 1. Canada. Indigenous populations in Canada include First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. Two-spirit people have been active in advocating for their rights and recognition within Indigenous communities. Organizations and support networks for two-spirit individuals exist, especially in urban centers like Toronto, Vancouver, and Winnipeg. 2. United States. Various Indigenous nations and tribes across the United States recognize and celebrate two-spirit people. The presence of Indigenous cultural events, powwows, and support organizations can provide a sense of belonging and acceptance for two-spirit individuals. Some regions with a significant Indigenous population include the American Southwest, the Northern Plains, and the Pacific Northwest. 3. Mexico. Mexico is home to various Indigenous groups, including the Nahua, Zapotec, and Mayan peoples. In some indigenous communities in Mexico, there is a recognition of gender diversity, though the specific term Two-Spirit may not be used. Oaxaca in southern Mexico is known for its acceptance of muxas, a gender-diverse group within Zapotec culture. For New Zealand, while New Zealand is not in North America, it's worth noting that the country has its own indigenous cultures. The Maori people. Maori culture recognizes and respects gender diversity, and the term Takatapui is used to describe Maori LGBTQ+ people, including those who identify as Two-Spirit. There are organizations and events that support Takatapui individuals in New Zealand. It's important to approach these regions with cultural sensitivity and respect for indigenous traditions and practices. Additionally, acceptance and understanding of Two-Spirit individuals can vary widely within indigenous communities, and it's essential to engage with each community on its own terms to learn about their specific beliefs and practices regarding gender diversity. Thank you for being part of this inspiring journey. Your time and engagement are truly appreciated. We hope you've gained insight into the beauty of diversity in our world. Thank you for celebrating it with us. In the video description, you'll find links to explore additional gender identities for a more comprehensive understanding.